Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy YB, and today we are in the top 10 best bosses to farm in Borderlands 3. Quick rundown by Borderlands 3. I am a Zane main. Shout out to Zane, that is my favorite character. He's actually the only character, him and Mose are the only two people I've beat the game with. If you guys are here within the first week of this video dropping, if you guys want to play some Borderlands 3 with me, please hit me up in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Leave it in the comments. I'm looking for 3 more people to get a playthrough with. I want to play with Amara. I've never played with Amara since the game's been out. I've only played with Zane and Mose. So I would like to play a new playthrough with Amara. Me and you, we can talk. Me and the other 3 people, we can schedule a time. We can get those played. But let's hop into K6's top 10 bosses to farm in Borderlands 3. Let's get it.
Borderlands 3 has a ton of bosses of all shapes, sizes, and difficulties to
I haven't
battle.
played this
Some
much
for
in
the
about a
challenge,
year
but
either.
many others for their loot. This video is all about getting that loot. So these are the 10 best bosses to farm for legendaries in Borderlands 3. Before I begin, I want to point out a couple ways that you can maximize your loot. First, use the Borderlands Science Machine in Tannis's lab. This is available to all players, even if you only own the base game, if you have an active internet connection. Gather 1,500 points in the Borderlands Science Machine, then buy a butt stallion milk, and you will get 1 hour of increased lead.
Hey, Borderlands have the funniest thing. Butt stallion milk. Let me get some of that butt stallion milk. It's wild.
Legendary drops. The other thing that you can do to boost your drops is get the Schluter artifact from the Director's Cut vault cards. With this artifact equipped, just kill any enemy, and for the next 12 seconds, you gain 1,000% increased legendary drop chance. This does not affect dedicated drops like the Hellwalker from Road Dogg or the Monarch from Kilovolt, just as examples. But it will land you a ton of world drop loot.
And number 10 is...
Starting us off at number 10 is the boss that so many of us spent tons of hours farming early on in Borderlands 3 before they fixed loot pools and spread out the drop.
Yeah, before, man, when this game first came out, I played Grave Wars so many times, man. So many times. I'm so glad they fixed that, because that's the only place you can farm for loot. So at the beginning of Borderlands 3, that's all everybody played, man. No lie. Seriously.
Other named enemies. Graveward. This boss is a vault monster acting as a deterrent for entering the Eden 6 vault, but drop in with a solid fire weapon and shoot Graveward right in that target circle right in the middle of their chest, and you can kill him quick. One of the best parts about this farm is that it should be very fast for most everybody, even if you're on an old gen console, since this map is small. Also, you spawn just a few feet away from vending machines and the drop into the fight, making it very fast, efficient, and giving you a way to sell off junk loot and buy ammo
Definitely
easily.
the fastest.
Graveward drops a ton of random loot, and if you equip the Schluter, it actually works wonderfully on Graveward. Things to look for from this farm: a God Roll Ward Shield for melee builds, the Lob Shotgun, class mods, and artifacts. Graveward is located on Eden 6 in the Floating Tomb map.
Now let's see number 9.
Sliding into number 9 is Agonizer 9000 in the Guts of Carnivora on Pandora.
No lie, the Guts of Carnivora and the Agonizer 9000 is some of the best game design they have. Like, remember, you have to chase the thing around first, you have to shoot it, it drops down, then you go in. Like, that was a completely different than anything we've ever seen in Borderlands. They need to do more creative stuff like that. That was super creative, and I definitely enjoyed that part of it.
What makes this farm so good is, like Graveward, it is a fast loading map, and you are immediately able to drop right in and fight. Also, like Graveward, there is a ammo machine which allows you to buy ammo, sell junk loot, so you get SDU upgrade money, and even be on the lookout for the cloning maddening tracker grenades from this machine. Agonizer is weak to corrosion, and with a decent build, this is an extremely quick and easy fight. Schluter also works on Agonizer, giving you a ton of extra world drops. The reason I'll rank this one slightly above Graveward, though, is because Agonizer can drop the back burner launcher on Mayhem 6 and above, and that is one of the best overall weapons in the game. Other things to be on the lookout for with this farm: class mods, artifacts, and then if you're on Mayhem 4 or above, the EMP5 SMG, which will allow you to run faster. And even if you don't play on Mayhem levels, the White Elephant artifact can drop here. Especially be on the lookout for the knife drain and stone versions of the White Elephant.
Okay, a question for everybody playing Borderlands 3. Do you guys think Borderlands 3 has too many legendaries that drop too easily? Definitely let me know in the comments below. I've been going back playing Borderlands 2. You hardly get any legendaries. Borderlands 3, you get 1,000 legendaries per playthrough. So definitely let me know how you guys feel about it. I wish they went back to the Borderlands 2 drop rates, but that's just me. But let me know how you guys feel in the comments below.
Hey, it's number 8.
Coming in at number 8 is Tom and
Heart's
Sam in the Heart's Desire map in the Guns,
I
Love,
love
and
this
Tentacles
fight.
DLC. These two drop a wide variety of DLC to loot, but most notably they drop the Soul Render Assault Rifle, and it's one of the best weapons in the entire history of the Borderlands franchise. If you want to know what to look for specifically with that drop, then be sure to check out my video linked in the upper right corner of the screen. Now, Tom and Sam can be formidable for some players. They are pretty tanky, but if you have a good build, you should be able to drop in, kill them both efficiently, and they are weak to fire damage if that helps. Be sure to trigger this save station when you first start this farm to speed things up a little bit. Some other things to look out for during this farm: they seem to drop a ton of assault rifles, so be on the lookout for the boom sickle and super shredder fire, but also any random DLC 2 weapons like the Anarchy. Bonus old gen console farming tip: kill just one of these 2 enemies and then use your fast travel to teleport back up to the station right before you would drop into their arena, drop back in, and then they will both be there. Repeat this as much as you like.
Number 7.
Coming in at number 7 is Jackbot the Jackpot and Moxie's High.
Man, that dude dropped a lot. I remember when this game came out, I played him a lot. I liked that Jackpot DLC. It was pretty cool. I don't think any of the Borderlands 3 DLCs was as good as Tiny Tina's Wonderlands DLC. Assault on Dragon Keeps DLC. I think that was probably my favorite DLC. I like Captain Scarlet's DLC. It was really, really good as well. The Headhunter packs were good. So I don't think Borderlands 3 had anything that
to the hands of Jackpot DLC. This is the final boss of the first DLC, and he is notorious for dropping a ton of DLC 1 class mods, which are some of the best in the game. You got the Green Monster for Moze, which has all the effects of the Blastmaster class mod plus the bonuses of the Green Monster. The Stackbot class mod for Flak, which is an S tier, just beautiful for shredding bosses. And the See Undead for Zane is one of his best all-around class mods, and actually one of my favorite to use as well. Sadly, Amara got kind of the shaft with her class mod, the Golden Rule. It does allow her to basically reset her action skill cooldown almost immediately, but ultimately it's just average at best. So why is this farm ranked higher than some of the other ones before it? A few reasons. Number 1, Jackbot can drop as many as 5 class mods in one kill. Plus, this is the only place in the entire game that has respawning red chests that do not have a delay on them. So with the Schluter, you can kill Jackbot, immediately run into his treasure room, pop open the 2 chests for a bunch of bonus legendary world drop loot. Also in his treasure room, there is a ton of money. So if you need money for SDU upgrades, this is going to score you a bunch of money toward those.
All that money is great. The drops is good. Yeah, I think that deserves to be up there. This is a good one though. I did enjoy fighting.
One additional bonus for this fight is if you just want the class mods, you can farm on Mayhem 1 with the loot explosion modifier turned on, since class mods are not affected by Mayhem level. Along the way, make sure you kill Loco Chantal at the beginning of the VIP tower, and then also kill Freddy and his 2 robots right before you go up the elevator to actually fight Handsome Jackbot. And if you got that Schluter on, you are going to see a huge pile of loot from Freddy, most likely, just like this, including these Lenosias.
Look at him with a combat power
Man, they caught us with the come on.
of 1 million. Doesn't even have any 5-star gear. Pets
Number 6.
At number 6 is a bit of a different boss, and one that a lot of players maybe don't even know actually exists: Titan in the Slaughter Shaft. Now, I know that this list is all about bosses to farm for legendary loot, but really you're not going to be too concerned about Titan's actual drops as much as all the other loot that you're going to get from the fight leading up to him. That said, Titan can drop the Shredder Fire and the Butcher, and myself, I've scored a super Shredder Fire from him a long time ago, back before the level cap increase. There was Titan. All right, what do we get? Titan will also always drop 500 Iridium, so if you need that for anointment rerolls, this is a great place to farm for that. But here's the real trick to this fight in increasing your Iridium gains, your chances at the Super Shredder Fire, and all the world drop loot that you're gonna get. Do not kill everybody when Titan spawns. Make sure there's at least one other enemy left alive. Once you kill Titan and grab your Iridium from him, as long as the round doesn't complete and there's still at least an enemy alive, just teleport back to the starting room of the Slaughter Shaft, and it will quote-unquote fail round 5, allowing you to repeat that round again with a Schluter and Butt Stallion milk.
I did that to get all of my Iridium, man. I killed that dude like 20 times, man. That's a very smart thing to do.
You're gonna
I like
get
the slaughter
a
shaft stuff.
ton of legendaries all over this map, and that's where the real loot is in this farm. So be on the lookout for things like the Rowan's Call, the Hellwalker, Butcher, Breath of the Dying, Boomsicle, Shreddifier, Trevinator, Phasor, a bunch more. You can get a lot of really good loot from the slaughter shaft.
You can't.
Number 5.
No lie.
At number 5 is Joey Ultraviolet and all the other named enemies in the Cartels map. A while back, Gearbox made the cartel.
Wait, I lied. The Cartels map is one of my favorite pieces of Borderlands content ever. I love the Cartel map. Not even gonna lie. I played that many of times, man. The Cartel map is definitely where it's at, man. Definitely. I ain't gonna lie, I love that. I loved it.
Cartels and Bloody Harvest permanent additions to the base game that you can toggle on at any time you want from the main menu. Just turn on Cartels and then talk to Maurice in Sanctuary to start things off. You'll need to gather materials from Maurice to enter the map via Portal and Sanctuary, but the good news is unless you actually kill Joey, you can just repeat that area as much as you want. Inside this map is a ton of Iridium, 6 named enemies with some excellent dedicated drops, and Joey himself. Now, I made this video showing you guys how to farm specific items in the Cartels, but I highly encourage you to do full runs of the map when you guys get there. There's also a couple of locations with high chances for multiple loot tinks to spawn to earn even more loot. So like I said, kill everybody but Joey, rinse and repeat to your heart's desire, or go ahead and try and kill Joey too. Just be aware, on Mayhem 10 or 11, either way, Joey has 6.3 billion health. That's billion with a B, raid boss level health and damage. Now, some loot that you want to be on the lookout for in the Cartels, you want to get the OPQ system, the fish slap grenade, the needle gun, and all the various elements, no pew pew, and the yellow cake. You're also going to have a red chest at the end if you do beat Joey. Tons of iridium scattered all over.
Man, y'all remember when the yellow cake was just beastly and then they nerfed it? Come on, bring back the yellow cake. It was definitely Northfleet levels of powerful, and they messed that up, man. That gun was amazing.
The place, and some pretty good chances at random world drops from Joey, his mini bosses, and of course those loot tinks that I told you about.
Number 4.
At number 4 is a mock from Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC. That's DLC 2. A mock is one of my favorite farms. It's a very casual farm too. Just spawn at Lantern's Hook in Cursehaven and run up the hill to this spot. A mock will spawn here, and as long as you kill any minion near him first to trigger your Schluter, then a mock will drop you a bunch of DLC 2 loot and a bunch of random world drops. Even though he's not the dedicated source for the Anarchy shotgun, this is where I actually farmed up my God Roll Anarchy in this video. You can also snag the Old God, one of the best all-around shields in the game, and I've got...
Hey, this DLC, what do you guys think of this DLC? I thought this DLC was okay. I really wasn't too fond of it at all. It was nah.
half a dozen or so Cutpurse launch pads from a mock during my farms. A mock can also drop the Unseen Threat, which is an above average sniper rifle and highly underrated, all of the DLC 2 class mods, and a lot of random world drops.
And now we're down to number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is Arms Race. Now, I know that just saying Arms Race is going to immediately...
Boo this man. Boo. Arms Race is not... I'm not going to lie, not a fan. Played it a few times, played it a couple times. I'm just not a fan. I played Borderlands 2 for the certain skills on each character that what makes it different from other first-person shooters. Yeah, was not a fan of Arms Race. Sorry.
Hear a bunch of you guys, but Arms Race is one of the best scaled pieces of content in the entire franchise, believe it or not. Now, the only problem with Arms Race is when you do drop in, you don't have any of your gear. You have to start from scratch. So when you land, you'll have a chest near you, you grab a shield, you grab a couple of different weapon options, and then it's up to you to go around the map looking for loot. The main problem with Arms Race is you are not guaranteed to get loot from any of those chests. You could go to the same chest over and over for like 2 hours and not get a single drop. However, if you do a full Arms Race run, you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least 2 or 3 random Arms Race pieces of gear, and Arms Race has some really good gear. You got the Boogeyman, you got the Kick Charger, you got the Tizzy, you got the Torrent.
I love the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman is dope. That is a dope gun. I do love the Boogeyman. Not gonna lie, that's a very good weapon. The Tizzy is nice too.
Got the plasma coil, the dark
Plasma
army,
coil.
the infernal wish
Right.
shield, the toboggan artifact, the Beskar shield. There is a bunch of other things that are just absolutely really high level gear that you can
Plasma
only get from
coils,
arms race
jeez.
or from the diamond loot room. Most of the arms race stuff can be obtained in the diamond loot room as well, but that does require you to have diamond keys, and those are pretty hard to get. Now, whether you want to go chase all of those different chests in arms race and look for specific things, here is a map showing you exactly where all the things can drop, or you can just go right to the boss of arms race if you have good enough starting gear and try and kill him and see what you can get from him. Ultimately, you do need to extract anything that you get that you want to keep. When you extract it, it goes to your bank and sanctuary. Then you just go back there, pull it out, and then you're good to go.
And here we are at
Not
number
fun.
2.
Coming in
Not
at number
fun.
2, Scrap Trap Prime and the Compactor map and the Moxie's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot.
Such a great handsome jackpot. Two good spaces. I love this one too. It's been a while since I played, but just make up for that last one. That arms race.
DLC, but there's a small catch. To maximize the farm, you need to enable the Bloody Harvest event in the main menu. This will give you a ton of random ghosts after killing many scrap traps in the arena, including the loot skulls, which will give a bunch of loot. But with the Schluter and the Butt Stallion milk, even the green and red skulls should drop you a good bit of loot as well. Top that off by killing Scrap Trap Prime himself
this
at the
for,
end, or a chance of the aforementioned DLC class mods, the Lucky
Do that
7
for,
pistol,
XP.
the Boomer
Such a great
SMG,
XP farm
and
as
even
well.
random Heartbreakers and Slow Hands, both of which are highly underrated weapons. The best part of this farm is you do not need to save and quit. Just go through this cargo container at the other end of the arena, come over into this corner, and it will reset the scrap trap room, allowing you to go back in there and farm them again. You can also do the
Amazing.
same farm with the cartels event enabled to quickly get what you need to be able to go back into the cartels and also fight random cartels named enemies inside the scrap trap arena.
Honorable mention.
Honorable
Definitely good.
mentions go to Katagawa Jr., Road Dog, Princess Tarantella II, Sumo, Lasodactyl, Kilovolt, Thunken Sloth, Slaughter Star, Captain Hawk,
Lasodactyl.
Howlin'
Yeah, where is he
Takedown,
at?
and there's a ton more, but those are the main ones.
And finally, here we are at
What's the number
number
one?
1.
Finally, at number 1 is the Proving Grounds. Originally at launch, the Proving Grounds were simply a way to do time trials against your friends or other players just to see how fast you could complete them. But Gearbox heard our complaints about farming for artifacts and class mods, and they made it so that completing a Proving Grounds run on any of the maps, as long as you complete it with 25 minutes left on the clock, will give you guaranteed legendary loot in the final boss chest. And those are heavily weighted to be class mods and artifacts. But they didn't
I
stop
haven't
there.
played
They
this in a
also
while.
added a toggle at the start of each trials map that, when enabled, turns the final boss into basically a raid boss, at least in terms of health and damage. I made a video about that here. Those bosses will also drop 2 very powerful pieces of gear per run. Some of the items that they can drop with the true difficulty toggle include the Monarch, Flipper, Chaosin, Convergence, Tizzy, Backburner, Lucky 7, Sickle, including the Boom Sickle, which I've got multiple times in here, and the Skullmaster
Oh, I'm gonna
Sniper
hop back
Rifle,
in
one of
and
the
play.
best snipers in the game. There is a bunch of other things that they can drop as well, but those are the main ones. So for anybody with a strong enough build, this is a great way to test that build and score yourself some great loot. No matter how long it takes to complete the true version, you are guaranteed those 2 legendary drops from each of those bosses, and the final chest will still have legendary class mods and artifacts no matter what time limit is left on the clock. But if you just want to focus on
like
the
that.
artifacts and class mods and you're fast enough to go through any of these maps, feel free to leave that true difficulty toggle off, speed through to the chest, and maybe secure yourself a Cutpurse Launchpad, Minesweeper, Executor, Phase Zerker, Bounty Hunter, or many other awesome class mods and artifacts. So that's my 10 best bosses to farm for legendary loot in Borderlands 3.
Okay, so some of those was good. Some of those was okay. I definitely enjoyed the loot on those. I would take all of the farms, take arms race out of there. Everything else, good, great to go. Definitely enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please leave a like, because that'd be epic. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. That'd be the bee's knees. Go to my boy K6. Tell him your boy YB sent them. K6, thanks for the content. Keep pushing out great content. No matter what, just keep doing you, my friend. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That'd be great. Just remember, through the power of positivity, we can change the world. This has been your boy YB.